A lot of guys get into this mindset that because they're broke that they don't need a prenup prior to getting hitched. This video explains why nothing could be further from the truth. The fact is, you need a prenup even if you're broke. Here's why. Number 1, to not have to pay her loans. You're in love. You'll never get divorced, and even if you do, you ain't got nothing, so what's the big deal? I'm sure that's what you're thinking. Well, prenups are not just for rich people. I'm sure you know that any property acquired during the marriage is considered 50-50 community property. Did you also know that debt, including student loans, is also considered community property in many states? That means if you guys decide to split without a prenup, you could be stuck paying for half her bills, including her shopping sprees, cell phone bills, and maybe even student loans. Number 2, to stop her from trashing you on Facebook. You can put social media clauses that could prevent her from trashing you on social media outlets like Facebook or Twitter. These typically state that you and your ex can't share embarrassing photos or make disparaging remarks about each other on social media. Violating this clause could lead to a fine. It's been reported it could cost someone $50,000 for a violation. This is especially useful if you have a brand or business interests to protect. Number 3, to stop her from misusing your money. A prenup can have a clause that the partner receiving alimony or spousal support can't use that money for alcohol or at the casino. More importantly, you can stop her from using the money to start a business that directly or indirectly competes with yours. This is, of course, all in addition to making sure you don't get stuck with expensive alimony, spousal support, payments. Without a prenup, she could potentially divorce you and you still get stuck paying her every month. That being said, don't get too crazy with it. One thing to keep in mind is that sometimes having too many frivolous lifestyle clauses can be cause for a judge to invalidate a prenuptial agreement. Remember, the prenup has to be at least somewhat fair in order to be enforced. The prenup can't be so one-sided as to be considered unconscionable. Donald Trump learned this the hard way when his prenup with wife number 1, Ivana, was partially thrown out because the courts determined it was too one-sided. California, in particular, has some strict rules to make sure the prenup is fair. 1. Both parties must have complete information about the finances and property of the other partner. 2. Each partner must wait a minimum of 7 days after receiving the prenup before signing it. Do you remember how Barry Bonds' prenup was thrown out because the wife said she didn't have enough time to think it through? 3. Each partner must receive full disclosure of the terms, rights, and conditions of the prenup. 4. Each partner must either have independent legal counsel or waive the right to independent counsel before signing the agreement. Isn't a prenup a plan to fail? Many folks don't want a prenup because they said it's like putting a bad omen on the marriage. If that's the case, does getting car insurance mean you're putting a bad omen on your car? Does getting health insurance mean you're putting a bad omen on your body? No, of course not. These agreements are simply meant to protect the things you care about the most in case something less than positive happens. What if I can't afford a prenup? The days when you needed an expensive lawyer to get a prenup are long gone. Nowadays, there are much cheaper options to get a prenup. Chances are good if you're broke you don't need a complex custom prenup. You can get pre-made prenup forms online either free or $40. If you don't have $40, you shouldn't be getting married in the first place. What if I'm already married? Not to worry, you can get a post-nuptial agreement as well. Please remember that marriage is serious. I hope with this video that not only have I convinced you to get a prenup, but that marriage is serious and not to be taken lightly. Marriage is supposed to be a sacred bond between two people and God that you will do your best to be together for the rest of your lives. Please remember that prior to saying, I do. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe for more Christian dating advice.